Hey guys, this is your girl Style by Stacey J and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about my favorite reads of January 2024. Now, I have them on my phone so you see me looking down, that's why. But first I want to start off with books by Black authors because it is February now and I am trying to read more Black centered and written by books. So if you have any romance recommendations about Black women being loved correctly, comment them down below. But let's get right into the video. The first book I want to talk about is one of my favorites and it's called The Wedding Party. So basically that is book number 3 in this series, which I love the first two, The Wedding Date and The Proposal. And it just continues. You can read these separately or you can read them together, but basically they're all like intertwined. So it doesn't matter what order you read them in. Technically it might spoil who gets together when, but that's the only thing that it'll spoil. But in this particular book, Maddie is one of Alexa's best friends and Theo is one of her best guy friends, and Alexa is the girl getting married. Maddie and Theo he's like a bridesmaid and she's a bridesmaid. They hate each other and they are helping Alexa plan her wedding. Now, Alexa is the girl from the first book, but these two are helping Alexa plan her wedding. They hate each other. They sleep together and then agree to end their little entanglement by the end of the book, but things go on. Theo's like a square, you know, a stick in the mud. He's very Maddie's creative all over the place, just random, spontaneous, and it's super cute how they kind of balance each other out. And I liked this book. And then at the end they have to decide if they have feelings for each other. Are they going to take that risk and be together? Is it going to work out? Or are they going to strictly end things at the end of the planning? What happens when Alexa's wedding gets moved up because of unforeseen circumstances? I don't know. That's up to them. Loved it. Also, just a disclaimer, I read all of these via audiobook because Audible is the only way I'm going to read as a mom of 2. Like, it just is. 2 and under. So it just is what it is. The next book, Princess Trap, is hella spicy. Well, it's not that spicy, but the spicy scenes are fuego. So I would say on a spice level it's about a 2, but you know, an explicit 2 to 3. But basically this girl meets this prince and they get caught in the paparazzi with their little vibe because they were vibing when they first met, and she works for a school. He was touring to see like if he wanted to donate, blah blah blah. She ends up meeting him by putting herself in his path. I'm not going to spoil that, but she meets him, but not for the reasons of like romance, just to see if he's as hot as everybody was saying he was. But that's so funny. They get caught in each other's path. Basically paparazzi catches him. He cannot be caught in another scandal because he is a hot ass mess and an embarrassment to the throne, so he feels. So he tells his brother, the king, that this is actually my fiance and I'm not the playboy everybody thinks I am, but he was. So she gets caught pretending to be his fiance and they go to his little European country. I love, this is another Black written and female lead book. I love that they talk about like the problems with Black royal or makeup artists, and they just hit on some other topics like that here and there, like body, and I like stuff like that. But he always backs her up on her Black ass issues. So I think this is another good read. This is another book by Talia Hibbert, actor H. Eve Brown. You might have heard of Get a Life, Chloe Brown. You might have heard of that one. That one was good. And then it's Take a Hint, Danny Brown. And then the third one is The Baby's Sister, and it's actor age Eve Brown. I don't know if it's because I'm a baby. I'm the baby in my family, but I resonated with this book the most. I loved this one. The first one and this one are probably my two favorite. The second one's okay, but this one's my favorite out of all three, personally. And that could be biased. But basically, Eve starts stuff, never finishes because she just hasn't found herself yet, and they need to give her a break, but whatever. She is wasting her potential, or at least her parents feel like she is, and they basically cut her off for a couple months. She needs to stop mooching off of her trust fund money and actually do something and stick with it for once. So, in the fit of her, basically her sensitive ass temper tantrum of them telling her she's a hot mess, she stumbles upon this B&B, and this B&B owner who just happens to be looking for a cook. She literally interviews spontaneously on the spot and gets the job, and that is all I'm gonna tell you. But basically, she starts to act her age, and I'm not gonna spoil the rest, but this is one of those grumpy sunshine vibes in terms of romance. I love this one so much. This next one is called Booked for the Holidays, and this one is not like a Black written romance book. It's like one of those mini Audible ones, but I did read it last month just because I was mourning Christmas, if I'm being honest. Basically, this girl works for a publishing company, and she is new. She's a newbie, and she gets assigned to check up on this author that she loves, right? And she's been a long-standing fan of her mystery novel. There's like 20-something books in the whatever. She's this older author. And she gets assigned to check up on her because one of her manuscripts is late. Her manuscript is never late. I'm not going to spoil why it's late, but that's important to know. Her manuscript's never late. Homegirl's always on time. She goes there. Her grandson is there instead. And she's trying to get a hold of the lady. She meets the grandson, and that's all I'm gonna leave you off on there because I don't like to spoil. I just like to leave them a little cliffhanger. But she meets the grandson, and is there a budding romance? I don't know. He's kind of snappy, kind of uptight. I wonder why. You'll just have to read it and find out. I read that just based off of boredom from an Audible, like, I just ran out of credits and I was bored, and it was included in my membership, and it was pretty okay. This one falls into, like, I feel the smut category. It's still romance, but, you know, same old, like, smut, fantasy, okay? Mafia, son, basically. Girl whose dad is in jail. She needs to get protection for her dad in jail. He's intrigued with her. They strike a deal. Sorry, the mailman was hella loud. It sounded like he was right by my window. He was hella loud dropping off my mail, but yeah, that one's in the smut category. I'm kind of tired of smut at the moment. I just want romance, happy sunshine, and rainbows, you know? Like, is that too much to ask? This book right here, I did not expect to love as much as I did, and I kind of ride hard for this. It's called Wonderwall. It's about this guy and this girl. They're friends in high school. Basically, they, like, start off as friends, and then his parents die, and he moves away. Oh, I spoiled that. Or, let me start over. I don't want to spoil it. They start off as friends in high school, and then he moves away. I'm not going to tell you why. And then, while he moves away, he becomes famous. And without spoiling too much, they run into each other again, and he is doing everything he can to get back his Pookie because he messed up the first time and handled shit the wrong way. But I digress. That's just men. But that was a good read. And if I'm not mistaken, that was included in Audible too. Oh, that was a good read. I am going to read the second one after Black History Month because this month I'm focusing on my black ass authors. Okay. let me go through and make sure I get this one right. But this is called the Vested Interest series, and it starts out with Bentley. I'm gonna review these in a group or talk about these in a group because I read them like back to back to back to back to back. They're all free on Audible. And you can read these all together in order. That's what I prefer to do. But you don't have to because they have overlapping timelines. It might spoil who gets together, but it won't spoil their story. So it goes like this. Bentley, Aiden, Maddox, Reed, Van, Houghton. I am on Sandy, which is the last book. Oh my word. But basically, there's 7 books in the whole thing that I just named. My favorite ones are the ones I'm going to talk about, but I did read them all, and I'm currently reading Sandy. But my favorite 3, well, I'll say the first 4 are my favorites. So Bentley, Aiden, Maddox, and Reed, because I just felt like I loved focusing on the band boys. You'll get it if you watch it or listen to it, but I loved focusing on them. Bentley's, that storyline was popping. I'm not going to lie to you. That was probably my favorite. Crazy twist. Loved it. Did not expect that. And then I think it's second favorite, which is Maddox and Dee, the oldest sister, because she's like, we're not in a relationship, and he's like, baby, but we already are. But I love that. Again, another twist, which I did not see coming. I was like, damn. Literally when I read it, I was like, damn. But basically in Bentley, this uptight guy meets this fun, free, but hardworking girly. The initial meet with them, iffy, but they get it together. And then in Maddox and Dee's situation, they're reluctant to start something. They don't want to get together because everybody in their little circles kind of clumping together, and they feel pressured even though they both are very reluctant to fall in love. You'll find out why later. But yeah, I give this whole, I'm going to package the series. Reed's another cute and quirky one that I like, and I thought it was refreshing that like Reed was a virgin. This is minor smut, I will say. Maybe like 3 out of 5 in the smut category. Like that's how spicy it is. But I thought that these were all fun reads. I'm really excited to read Sandy, even though it's Black History Month and I said I was going to focus on Black authors. I'm going to finish this one out and then read only Black books and then tell you guys about them next month. But that is what I read this month. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.